Hi and welcome to this PowerPoint Master Slides tutorial. Now this Master Slides tutorial is particularly for those who know absolutely nothing about Master Slides or maybe know a little bit and have got a bit confused. We'll be talking about what Master Slides are in PowerPoint, how they can add consistency across all of your presentation so you don't have to repeatedly go into each and every slide and change the font and the bullet points and the colors. So we're going to change a presentation that currently looks like this, okay, and we're going to make the presentation look like this. So all of this here has been accomplished through Master Slides. Now there's a few things just to take note of. So the first thing is notice that this company logo just here is the same on each one of these slides as I go through. Okay. The next thing to take note of is that this picture, the size of this picture, you can see just here, it's the same size all the way through. We're not going to be changing picture size, so it adds that touch of professionalism. We're also going to add a customized bullet. That bullet actually is from Wingdings, so we'll have a look at that. And we'll also look at changing the font and adding the space there. And these colors aren't randomly chosen. These are colors from our marketing department. Now, if you want to follow along with this tutorial, then what you'll need to do is download and unzip the exercise files that come with this. And they will contain this file here, which is PowerPoint Masters Slide Start. So it will contain this file here so you can follow along. And it will contain all of these pictures just here. So in that way, you can be absolutely sure you understand what's going on. But if you want to apply this to your own project, you're more than welcome. What you learn here, you'll be able to use in any project. Sound good? Let's get started. All right then, so let us do this. So what I'd like you to do is open up this presentation. First, you'll need to know where are the master slides? Where do you go to see them? So first, you'll click on the View tab here at the top. So click on the View tab at the top. And then you can click on Slide Master. So if you click on Slide Master just on the left-hand side here, and now you're viewing the slide masters. Just so we can practice, let's go back by closing down the slide master. So if you want to close down slide masters and go back to the normal view, the view of your presentation, you click on Close Master View, the button just on the right-hand side of the now Slide Master tab on the ribbon. So let's close Master View there. And now we're back with our normal presentation. So just to be clear, this is the presentation that you would give. Yep. So normally you would press F5 on the keyboard to start the presentation. And then with each click of the mouse as you click, it will take you through the presentation. As you can see, this presentation looks terrible. I mean, if you are on this presentation, even though it's only 7 slides, then you'd be forgiven for falling asleep. So I'm going to come out of the presentation by pressing Escape. Just one quick thing. If when you press F5 on the keyboard to start your presentation, you may well have this presenter view screen appear. It might just appear on your screen like so. And you think, what's going on? Well, you can click on the Restore button if you want to, just here, top right-hand corner. And then you can just move this out the way if you need to see my video and the presentation at the same time. Alternatively, you can temporarily turn off the presenter view. Let me just show you how that is by pressing Escape to come out of the presentation. Click on the Slideshow tab at the top. So that's the Slideshow tab. And then untick Use Presenter View. So untick Use Presenter View. There we go. And now when you press F5 to start your presentation, you no longer have that annoying presenter view, which isn't great when you're creating your slideshow. Hope that helps. So just to recap with that one, if you want to start a presentation within PowerPoint, you press F5 on your keyboard. If you want to stop a presentation, you press Escape on your keyboard. All right, so let's go and view the master slides. So I'm going to click on to View here at the top. So that's the View tab here. And I want you to do the same if you click on the View tab. And then go and click on the Slide Master button. And we are now looking at the slide masters. Now, one indication as to whether or not you're in Slide Master view is having a look at the actual slide names. You can see here I'm on what's called this title slide layout. And it says click to edit master title style. And I can click on these different layouts here on the left-hand side. And you can see it says click to edit master title style. Now, a word of explanation for these layouts and what a master and a layout is. Now, if I scroll all the way up to the top, you can see up here is the slide master. If I hover over that, here, let me just move away and come back and hopefully I'll get, there we go. You see it says Office Theme Slide Master used by slides 1 to 7. If I move down here, I can see Title Slide Layout. It says used by slide 1. If I go down here, I can see Title and Content Layout used by slides 2 to 7. So in a PowerPoint presentation, you don't use the same slides. You don't. So your first slide, your title slide, will be different. This one here is a slide that normally happens at the beginning of the presentation. Or maybe if your presentation is particularly long, you want to divide it up into sections, you might want to use that title slide. But maybe for general, having a title at the top and bullet points, you might use this title and content layout slide. And you can see here it has a title at the top and it has content under here that you can type in. Now, these can all be adjusted. Now, certain layouts have already been created for you. If you just click down a few of these here, you can see this one here is like if I hover over, it's called the section header layout. If I click on the slide beneath that, I can see that that is called if I move away and come back, to content layout. If I just hover over the next one, I can see comparison layout. And I've got lots of different types of layout slides. I've got a blank layout. I have content with caption layout. Now, further on in this tutorial, we'll be looking at how you can create your own custom layouts. But for the time being, we're just going to use the layouts that come with the Office theme. Now, what I want you to do first is go all the way up to the top and click on the master slide layout at the top. So all the way to the top and click on this slide here. Now, whatever I place on this slide, whatever I put, whatever I draw, and whatever changes I make to this master slide here will affect all of the slides in the presentation, no matter what layout they are on. So for instance here, say for instance, I'd want to change something quite universal, maybe the font. So for instance, if we now highlight the font at the top where it says click to edit master title style. So if you highlight that font just there, okay, that text at the top, okay, and then we're going to see what font that is. So next, click on the Home tab at the top. So if you click on Home, just at the top here, and I can see that this font is currently Calibri at 44 points. Now I'm going to change that to Verdana. So I'm going to click where it says Calibri here and start typing Verdana and then press enter. And now that's updated that font to Verdana. But notice that it's also changed the font of the titles here on every other slide. You notice that there. Just to be absolutely clear on this, I'm going to keep with Verdana, but just so I can really be clear, I'm going to get you to click at the top and change it to my least favorite font. I'm sorry if there's any disagreements out there. It's Comic Sans. So I'm going to type Comic Sans MS, press enter. And if you look now at each one of these layouts, let me just click on this title slide 1 and the title and content. You can see that this top bit here has updated. So I updated it on this master slide here, and all of the titles on this layout here, you see that influence all of those. Let's change it back to Verdana. So click on the master slide here at the top. I'm going to highlight my text all the way across here like so. If you do the same, click at the top, make sure you're on the Home tab, just here at the top. Make sure that, or click in the font drop-down list, and I'm going to type in Vedana, press enter. That's good. And as you can see, all of the other layouts have updated. Now, I also want to change the font for this section here. Now, this section represents the bullet points on your presentation. So what I'm going to do is highlight all of this like so. Okay. And I'm going to go up to the top, click at the top here, and also type in Vedana and press enter. Excellent. All righty then. So now what we're going to do is go back and see how that applies to our presentation. So what I'm going to do is click back on the Slide Master view here at the top. So I do apologize. What we're going to do next is click on the Slide Master tab at the top and then click on Close Master View over here on the right-hand side. And now our presentation font is Vedana. If I click on any of this here, I can see that my font in my presentation is Vedana. So if I want to see my presentation by pressing F5 on the keyboard, and as I click through, my font is changed from Calibri to Vedana. All right then, so if you remember from our last presentation, we had these bands of color at the top and at the bottom. If we just have a quick look here and I'll show you. So notice we got a nice green band here and an orange band here and a green one here at the bottom. Now we want to make sure that they are added across our presentation, but do note that on the title slide, the first slide of our presentation here, we don't have any green bars. We have a picture here and some text, etc. We don't want those green bars and that orange bar to appear on our first slide. So this title slide, okay, is affected by the title layout. And these slides here, these ones here, are affected by the title and content layout. Now let's go back to our presentation that we've been working with and see how we can apply them. So if I go back to our presentation here, let's go and have a view of our master slide. So we're going to click on View at the top and go to Slide Master. Okay. Now in our layouts here, you can see here's our master slide. This one's title slide used by slide 1. And if I hover over here and it says title and layout, you can see used by slides 2 to 7. So I can see that that title and content layout is used by slides 2 to 7. Just to prove the point, I'm going to go and click on Close Master View. And if I click on a slide here, so if I click on slide 2, you can do the same. I'm going to go up to the layout button. So you can see the layout button here at the top. So give the layout button a click and you can see that this title and content layout is highlighted, which means that this second slide has the title and content layout applied to it. So if we change that in the masters, it will update all of the other slides because all of the other slides are based on that slide layout. I hope that makes sense. If not, please continue and you'll see exactly what I mean when we apply those rectangles. So let's do that. So I'm going to go to View and I'm going to go to Slide Master to view the slide masters. I'm then going to scroll up and find I'm already on it. So make sure we click on this second one here. Okay, so this second slide layout it's called title and content layout. What I'm going to do now is I need to draw a rectangle. So I'm going to go up to the top here and click on the Insert tab here at the top. So if I click on the Insert tab, and then if I go down and I click on Shapes just here, so you can see I'm clicking on Shapes. And then I'm going to click on this one here, this rectangle on the left-hand side. Oops, let's go back to it and down to rectangle just here. So what I'm going to do is draw a rectangle across the top, make it nice and thin. There we go, maybe a little thicker. Let's go and let go. So our company is called To Be Talking, and To Be Talking's marketing department has supplied me with the colors that they want for this rectangle. So I've got them on my phone here. So for the rectangle at the top, which is the green one, they have 3 numbers, 69, 117, 25. So I'm going to, making sure that I have selected this, I'm going to go up to Shape Fill here at the top. So you can see Shape Fill, click on Shape Fill. Go down to and choose More Fill Colors. And in this section, just here, you can type in the red, the green, and the blue. So let's go in here. And the red is 69. So let's type in 69. I'm going to press Tab on the keyboard to move down. The green is 117. Press Tab. And the blue is 25. That's good. Press Tab and you can see this nice green. It's good here. So I'm going to click on OK. And I can see the fill color has changed to that nice green. What I'm also going to do is ensure that there is no outline on that shape. So to do that, I'm going to click on Shape Outline. So the shape outline is like a border on the shape. So click on that and choose No Outline. So this green, there is no outline at all. So I need another green to sort of like straddle this title here, make that look really good. So the way I'm going to do that is hold down the Control key on the keyboard. So if you take your keyboard, hold down the Control key on your keyboard, and then you can drag a copy of this green rectangle down and beneath the text like so. And see, we have an exact copy. We're going to have a green rectangle as well at the bottom of the slide. So if you hold down the Control key, take your mouse and drag all the way down to the bottom. Make sure you let go of the mouse first and then let go of the keyboard. And now we have 3 exactly the same rectangles. They're exactly the same color, exactly the same shape. I need an orange one just at the top. So if I go up here, hold down Control and drag one down here, I'm just going to make this one a little thinner. There we go. That's good. And I've got a color for the orange. So if I go up to my Shape Fill and click on Shape Fill, go down to and click on More Fill Colors just here. And then I'm going to type in the colors my marketing department has given me. I've got them here. So the orange is 226. In the red, press Tab. 118 for the green, press Tab, and 0 for the blue. So click on OK. And you can see I've got this nice orange here. Let me just click away. Make sure there's no gap between the orange and the green there. It's really starting to look good. So let's see how this has affected our presentation. So what we're going to do is click on Close Master View at the top. So click on Close Master View. And now you can see from slide 2 all the way down to slide 7 here. So you can see all of this. Actually, if I just do the whole lot, you see the whole lot just all the way up here. Yeah, it's all got those green and orange bars on it, except the first slide does not. So you can see the first slide here is different from the other slides because the first slide is based on a different layout. If we went back to our slide master, going to View and Slide Master, you can see the title and content layout has the bars, but the title slide doesn't. If I put the bars on this top one here, it would affect all of them. So really, you're hanging around in this actual master not very much. You're doing most of your work through the layouts. I'm hoping that you've followed along. What we're going to do next is add in a company logo. Now you can find these graphics on the exercise files that I'll give you. It'll give you a link above. I'll give you a link down below so you're able to download and extract these images. So let's go and pop in an image. Now, if you haven't already done so, view your slide masters and make sure that you've selected this title and content layout just on the left-hand side. So now we're going to insert a picture. So if you go to Insert at the top and go to Pictures, so Insert and Pictures, and go down to and choose this device. So what you'll need to do is find the pictures that you've extracted. So here are the pictures here. We're going to use some of these later on, but the one we're particularly interested at this moment in time is this To Be Talking logo. So I'm going to click on that and click on Insert. and you can see my picture has been inserted. Now I want the picture in the top right hand corner of this title and content layout slide. So I'm going to drag up to the top like so, and then I can use these resize handles in the corner. It's really good to use the corners one. It's a bit more, it keeps the picture in proportion. It's not going to stretch the picture. So let me just drag this down a little bit, and yeah, it's starting to look good. Now, if I go back to my other presentation here and have a quick look at one of our slides, you can see the To Be Talking logo is within a white circle, and that white circle has that orange border around the outside. So we're going to do that by layering the logo with a white circle. So if we go back to our presentation, here we go, and I'm going to insert a shape. So I'm going to insert at the top, so the insert tab at the top. I'm going to click on the shapes drop down menu just here, and I'll go down to, and underneath basics shapes, third in from the left hand side, you can see the oval shape. So it says oval. There's no such thing as a circle. Well, it might be a circle one, but the one we're going to look at is oval. So give it a click. Our mouse pointer is ready to draw an oval. What I'm going to do is click and drag. And as I drag, I'm going to hold down the shift key on the keyboard. And what that does is, as I'm dragging, it keeps the oval shaped round. It doesn't make it egg shaped. Hold down the shift key. It keeps it round. So I'm just going to make it like so big. That looks good. Let go. That's great. So what I'm going to do is just click, use the mouse and click to drag that over the logo like so. Excellent. So before I start layering it and aligning it up, let's deal with some colors. So what I want to do is make the fill color white and the border color or outline color orange. So making sure that you're on the shape format here at the top. And incidentally, if you accidentally click off shape formats, so if you go somewhere else and you can't see the shape format here, then just click back on the circle just here. Click on shape format, make sure that's selected, the tab at the top. Click on the shape fill drop down list and choose white. Now click on the shape outline drop down list, and you can see under recent colors here, it's remembered our orange that we selected earlier. So there's no need to look up the information from our marketing department. So give that a click. Now we want to make that border, the outline around the circle, a little thicker. So we do that by clicking on shape outline again, going down to and hovering over weight. And then we're going to go down to, and choose 6 points. And you can see that the thickness of the outline or the border around the circle is just a little thicker. But I want to make it even more thicker and bolder. So I'm going to go back up to shape outline here, go down to weight, go across and down to more lines. Give more lines a click. And then on the right hand side of the screen, you can see I have an option to change the width just on the right hand side of the screen in the format shape options box. So let me use this spinner here to just increase the width. I'm going to stop at 10 points because I think that looks quite good. Great. Let me click on the cross in the top right hand corner of the format shape options section to close format shape options. So now what I want to do is move this circle behind the logo. So ensuring that I've got the circle selected still, I'm going to click on this send backward button just here. In fact, I'm going to click on this little drop down list here and I'm going to choose send backward. And you can see it sent the circle behind the logo. So I'm just going to do a little bit of adjusting here. I'm not going to give you exact dimensions to change this. If you did want to, you can change it just up here if you wanted to. But what I'm going to do is making sure I've got my shift key held down, adjust a circle, make that a little bit smaller and adjust it so it's roughly in the center of the logo here. Now, if I want to be absolutely sure that the logo and the circle are lined on top of each other, if I click on the logo first, so click on the logo first, hold down the shift key on the keyboard and then click on the circle. And if you look closely, you can see that both of these are selected. There's like two sets of what they call resize handles there. So then I'm going to click on shape format, a tab at the top of your screen, and then click on the align drop down menu here. Now, before we continue with this, it's important that you have align to selected or align selected objects ticked. If you don't, if you have align to slide ticked, it will align that logo into the middle of your slide, and you don't want that. So ensuring that align selected objects is ticked, we're going to choose align center and then go up to the top to the align again and then align middle. So align center aligns it in the center horizontally, and align middle aligns it in the middle vertically. Now, the last thing I'm going to do with this is I want to maybe resize it or move it about, so I'm going to group it together, and I'm going to do that by going up to group, clicking on the group drop-down list here, and then go and click on group. So now the logo and the circle are grouped together in one shape. And what I can do is if I want to resize them, I can go to the corner, click, holding down the shift key, keeping in proportion, so I can resize this and get this just where I want to. Now, because I've done this on the title and content layout, if I close the master, so go to slide master here and click on close master view, if I now go to each one of my other slides, you can see that my logo has shined through and it's very, very consistent. Okay, it's animation time. And what we're going to do is add animations to our presentation so that when we click the mouse, each bullet comes in. Just to show you what we should expect. If I go back to the good one, if I remember, that's it, this one here. So say, for instance, I'm on this slideshow here and I want to start it. So I'm going to press F5 on the keyboard. Notice as I click my mouse, that goes to my next slide. And then with each click of the mouse, you see each bullet is coming in. So I'll show you how to do that. So let's come out of this presentation by pressing Escape on the keyboard. Let's go back to the one that we've been working on. They're starting to look so good now. I'm getting confused about each one. There we go. So where are we going to go to adjust the animations? You've got it. We're going to go to the master slides. So if we go to View and click on Slide Master. Okay, so here we are on the masters. Now what I want to do, remember, is have those bullets come in one at a time. So to do this, we're going to click on the border of the content. So what I mean by that is making sure that you select the border. I've highlighted that in pink so you can see that there. So if you've highlighted the border like so, we're then going to click on the Animations tab at the top of the screen. Then we need to choose an animation. Now this course is about this tutorial is about PowerPoint master slides, not animations. If you want animations, comment below and I'll take you through and create a tutorial on how to create animations in PowerPoint. But animations basically are divided into three basic types. Entrance, meaning they're coming in. Emphasis, the animation or the item is already entered, it's already come in, but you want to maybe make it glow or make it bigger to emphasize it. It might be an important point that you want your students or people watching, your delegates to take home. And exit is it disappearing. There are motion paths as well if you want to get them to move around as well, but they're the three main ones here. Now I'm just going to choose fade. So when I click on fade, it looks like it all comes in and it looks like, hang on a sec, it's got 111. This is for each of these bullet levels just here, but the main bullet level just here at the top, this main bullet level is going to come in one at a time. Let's just prove that by closing down the master view. So if we go to slide master at the top and click on close master view. Okay, what I want to do here is I don't want to start the presentation from the beginning. I want to start from this slide here. So if I click on this slide and then choose this presentation button, the slideshow at the bottom. So it's that slideshow presentation. If I click on that, it will then start the presentation from the slide I've currently got selected. As you can see, this presentation hints and tips slide comes up. Now, when I click on the mouse, I get the first bullet, second bullet, third bullet, and so on. So that's good. So that's how you add the animations to your master slide. One just thing just to add a little bit to that is there is a difference between animations and transitions. So animations are what we just done, bullets coming in one at a time, maybe pictures coming in. But a transition is how you go from one slide to another slide. So we're going to do that by clicking on the Transitions tab at the top of the screen. Transitions. Then we're going to choose a transition. So I'm going to click on Fade. I'm not doing anything fancy. And then I'm going to click on Apply to All on the right-hand side. And I can see that transition has been applied to all of the slides. So if I want to start from this slide, and I'll tell you a keyboard shortcut here for this, if you hold down the Shift key and press F5, it's the same as pressing that slideshow button in the bottom right-hand corner. So Shift F5 to start the presentation. So now as I click through, I get my bullet points. But as I click, I gradually go to the next slide. 2, 3, and to the next. Oops, there's 5 there, and to the next slide. There we go. Press Escape to come out of that. Looking good. All right, it's bullet time. So everyone loves a good bullet in PowerPoint. In fact, you want to be careful. You don't want to overburden your audience with bullets. But if you are, then why not change them to something a little bit more interesting? So what we're going to do is we're going to view the master views. What I'm going to do just here is show you a shortcut to get to the master slides. So I'm going to hold down the Shift key. So if you hold down the Shift key on your keyboard, and then you can click on this button at the bottom. Now, what is this button? If you hover over the button, it says Normal. Let's make sure it says that. There we go. There you see. So that button you would usually press to go to what they call normal view from outline. This is outline view to normal view here. But the interesting thing is if you hold down the Shift key and click on that normal view button, it takes you into the slide masters. This is what I'm looking at just here. If I want to go back to normal view, I click on the normal view button and it takes me back to my presentation. Make sense? Hold Shift key, click on normal. I go into my slide masters. Now this is a shortcut. You don't have to use that. It just saves us having to click on view and slide master, etc. I find it a little quicker. Righty then. So let's see if we can add a little bit with these bullets. So the first thing is I want to change this bullet here to see what I'm working with. So I'm going to click on the top of this list. Anywhere will do, but I'm just going to click just before the C here. I'm then going to go and click on the Home tab at the top. I'm going to go across and click on this bullet drop-down menu. Can you see that there? So if you do the same, click on that bullet drop-down menu. I'm going to go down to and click on bullets and numbering. Okay, so now we're in the bullets and numbering section. I'm not satisfied with any of these bullets here. I want to create a custom bullet. So I'm going to click on Customize. If you do the same. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look at a particular font. Now I've got Wingdings already here selected, so I can click on this drop-down list if I wanted to. If you can't see Wingdings at the moment, and scroll down until you find Wingdings and click on it. If you want to quickly search for that, you can type in Wingding, and as you type, when you click on that drop-down list, you see it searches for that. It makes it a little easier for you to find your fonts. So if you click on Wingdings here, now the one that we're going to use is this target one just round here. Okay, if you go across here and go down here, you can see it. So that's the target one. If you just give it a click. Now here's something that's worth knowing. If your marketing department or somebody else tells you that for your bullet point, you're going to use Wingding font character code 164, you can type in character code 164 here at the bottom. It gives you an opportunity that you can type 164 in just at the bottom, so you don't have to hunt around for that one little target symbol, because it's quite a lot, it's quite a lot going on here. So yeah, so if you miss it and it's sometimes difficult to see, you can type that in. Click on OK, click on OK again, and you can see that our bullet points change into a target. Now I want that bullet point to be the same green as this rectangle just here. So let's do that. So I'm again going up to my bullet numbers, just here, points just here, go down to and click bullets and numbering. And notice I have an option on the left here for color. So if you do that, go up to the bullets and numbering, and click on the drop down list for color, and you see it's remembered from our PowerPoint's remembered our recent colors. And here's a green from our marketing department. So if I give that a click, and then if I click on OK, okay, so now we can see that our bullet point is green. It matches the color of the rectangles. It's starting to look good. But as you can see, it's really quite close. We want to add some spacing as we have, and you can see with the other one. So what I'm going to do is just click just here, just before the C, okay, in the click to edit master text styles text. Now I can see rulers at the top. Now if you can't see rulers, what you'll need to do is click on view and then click on ruler. So you would click on view and then click on ruler at the top. See, now you can't see it there, but if I went now to view and ruler, it would switch this on. So what I'm going to use now is what they call a hanging indent. Now the hanging indent is this little triangle type thing here. Now I'll make sure I zoom in so you can see that. This when I'm doing post-production here, but it doesn't matter. So if I click and hold my mouse button down on that and then move that a bit across to the right hand side, you can see it increases the gap. Let me move it back a little bit. Let's move it to sort of 1 3/4 here. That looks good enough. And you can see it increases the gap between the bullet point here and the actual text. So yeah, that's starting to look pretty decent. What I also want to do is let's just go back to our normal view. So if I click on this normal view button so we can go back to our presentation, and that's looking good. What I also want to do is increase the gap between the bullets, these ones here. So let's do that. I'm going to hold down the Shift key and click on our little shortcut button at the bottom to go into my slide master view. I'm going to click on the line I want to add the spacing to. So it's paragraph spacing really. So click on the line. Then I'm going to click on the Home tab at the top. And then in the paragraph section, just over here, there is a drop-down list here. So you can see this drop-down list for line spacing. So the line spacing drop-down list, go down to and choose line spacing options. And then in the line spacing options, where it says spacing, and you've got after, I'm going to change that. So I'm going to change that to let's have a think here. I tell you what, I'm going to type in 10 points. I'm not going to take the ones that it's automatically giving you by clicking on these arrows. Incidentally, these arrows are called spinner, or it's called a spinner. So that's good. So that's after. That's great. So I click on OK, and you can see it's increased the gap. Let's go back to our presentation view. So I'm going to do old school way or long-winded way, slide master, close master view, and you can see I've got space between my lines. I just want to add a little gap between the top rectangle and the first line of text, but with the master slide, this is easy. What I need to do is go back to master slides, hold down the Shift key and click on the button at the bottom that says normal, using our shortcut. Go to the top here and click on the border, and then I can use this resize handle in the top middle just here. So I'm going to click on drag this resize handle down. Okay, if I click on my shortcut button at the bottom without pressing the Shift key, just clicking on the normal, I can see now I've got a bit of gaps. Well done on continuing and carrying on in this slide master tutorial. So what we're going to do next is add in a placeholder. And in that way, we can allow consistency across our images, in as much as we've got a different image, but it's got the same layout. It's got the same width, the same height in the same location. So what I want to do is go and view our masters. So if I go to view at the top, and go and click on slide master. You can use the shortcut as well. Remember, you can hold the Shift key and click on the normal button at the bottom if you so desire. Now, what I want to do is I don't want to muck up this layout, this one here, this title and content. What I want to do is I want to create my own layout. Okay, so in that way, I can then decide which slide layout I want to use on whatever slide in my presentation. But this is a good basis to start off with creating a new layout. So instead of creating it from scratch, I'm going to duplicate this layout. So I'm just going to right click on that slide layout, go down to and choose duplicate layout. So right click on that current slide layout just in the slide master view section here, and go down to and click duplicate layouts. So here's my duplicate. So what I want to do first is I want to give my duplicate a name. So I'm going to right click on that duplicate and go down to and choose rename layout. So let me just click on rename layout. And the name I'm going to give this one is title contents with picture. That looks good. I'm going to click on rename. Now, if I hover over this, you see the name of it comes up, title, content with picture, layout. At the moment, it's used by no slides. We don't have any slides using this at this particular point in time. So now I need to change this layout a little bit. So if I go and I click on the border just here, I'm then going to use this resize handle to drag this into the left a little bit, like so, and let go. Excellent. I might need to make this a little wider. Now what I'm going to do is click on Insert Placeholder. So it's Insert Placeholder. Now, if you can't find it, make sure you're on the Slide Master tab at the top. So when I click on Insert Placeholder, I'm going to go down to and click on Picture, because I want to put in a placeholder of a picture. I don't want to actually put in the picture like we did with the logo. I just want to give people who are creating or wanting to use this Slides Master an opportunity to put in a picture. If you don't know what I mean, then keep on watching. So let me click on Picture, and then I'm going to draw an area to which I want people to put picture in. I'm just going to adjust this so it lines up with my content. There we go. That looks good. So how do I use this new layout? So let's close Slide Master View. So click on Slide Master, tab at the top, and click on Close Master View. So let's try this out with this. In fact, instead of doing it one slide at a time, you can actually change the layout of all the slides, because I want pictures of all the slides except the last one. So click on slide number 2. So if you select slide number 2 here, and then hold down the Shift key on the keyboard, and then click on slide number 6. You might have to roll down first, then hold Shift and click on that slide number 6. Then I'm going to go up to and click on the Layout button just at the top. And notice here's my new title with picture, or title content with picture slide layout. And I'm going to click on that. And it will automatically apply that layout across the slides that I've selected on the left-hand side. Okay. So if I go back up to slide 2 and click on slide 2 now, this is the one I'm going to change. You see here it says click icon to add picture. So let's do that by clicking on the icon in the middle of this picture layout. Here we go. And again, if you want these pictures, download them from the link that I will give you, hopefully above right now or down below in the comments. So the first one is, which is the presentation hints and tips. So I'm going to use 2 people presenting. Double click on that to put that one in. Now what I want to do here, because I want to change the layout of this, first, especially for those using older versions of PowerPoint, you're not going to see design ideas. So let me just close that down by clicking on the close button in design ideas section on the right hand side. And if you see that, close that down. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the crop button at the top. Now, if you can't see the crop button, if you've accidentally clicked off the picture, click once on the picture, make sure that you've got the picture format tab selected at the top, and then click on the crop button. And then notice that you can see crop symbols here appearing on the edges and the corners of your picture. And you can see the picture grayed out here in the background. So what I want to do is drag this, go to the middle. You see how I'm doing this? Click and hold and drag that a bit to the left here, because I just want to see that woman there in that presentation. It's looking good. In fact, let me just drag it a little bit to the left here so I can get the full board in. There we go. Just not so much. That looks good. Excellent. Okay, maybe a little bit to get. Yeah, there we go. That's good. So when I'm finished, I can just click outside the picture and you can see that picture has been cropped like so. Excellent. It is touching there like this. So I'm thinking, oh, now because I'm happy with this picture placeholder, I can go back to the master slides and move that to be talking up again. But I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to show you the power of that by putting all the pictures in first, and then afterwards using master slides, muck around with the layout so you don't have to do it one at a time. So let's do that. Let's go into slide number 3. Let's click to add a picture. And this one, it's for speaking tone. So I'm going to use this woman just here speaking, the picture of her speaking. I'm going to go to crop and just move her across, and so I can see her here just by dragging. Let me just close down design ideas there. Let me just drag her across here. And I'm going to let go of the mouse and just do it again to move her all the way across. Just make sure I've got her right in the middle. That looks good. Click away. Brilliant. Let's do illustrations. So click on the illustrations. That's the 4th one. click on this icon just here, and illustrations, I'm going to use this natural flow JPEG picture. I think everything should work well for that. That's fine. Let's go to the naturalness, slide 5. Okay, click on this one just here. And then actually this one, I do apologize, is going to be natural flow. And then if I go back to slide 4 and I want to replace this picture, let me just click on this stop suggesting ideas until I restart PowerPoint. I'm going to click on this here and I want to replace the picture. So I'm going to go to picture format just here. I'm going to click on this change picture drop down menu. So this is quite a handy little tool, change picture. And then go to from a file, and the illustration one, I'm going to choose the illustrative flower picture. There we go. And the last one is questions. So if I go to slide number 6 where it's using questions, click on the picture icon and then double click on the questions image. Let me just go to crop and then drag this into the left. So that question mark, I tell you what, I'll keep the question mark a bit handy on the left there. That's it. Click on that. So as I said before, you can see that this circle is touching the top of that image, and I don't want to go and have to change this through all of the slides, so I can use my master slides and in particular my new layout that I've created. So let's do that. So if we go to view, slide master, and then what I'm going to do is, I like the way the picture is, I'm just going to move the logo up. So I click on the logo and I'm just going to move this up a touch, and it could do with being a little bit smaller as well. So I'm going to go to the corner, hold the shift key down and drag up to make that a little bit smaller, like so. So that looks good. It looks like it's sitting well within those rectangles. So I'm going to close the master view. So if you need to do so, click on slide master and close master view. And now when you look at each one of your slides, you can see that the To Be Talking logo, you've got a nice gap in there and you haven't had to do it a slide at a time. Therein lies the beauty of using master slides in PowerPoint. What we're going to do next is add in a bit of smart art with animation. Now this does present a little problem when we're using PowerPoint master slides, and I'll show you for why. Firstly, let's have a look and see what we're talking about. So if we go to our actual presentation, it's looking so much like it, it's hard to know which one's which. But I think with this one, if I scroll to the last slide, you can see I've got this smart art here. And then when I animate from this particular slide and give it a click, you can see that with each click, that each box is coming in. It's rather good. Okay. So you've got a couple of options here. If you already have a presentation applied, if you've already done one, then you probably just want to leave this as title and content layout. What do I mean by that? Let's have a look. So if we go back and let's have a look here and go here, there we go. So what I've just done is go back to our presentation, our main one. That's good. And go to slide 7 where we've got our review. So if you wanted to convert these bullet points to smart art, what you can do is highlight the 4 bullet points with the mouse, right click on any one of the bullet points, go down to and hover over convert to smart art, and then you can choose a smart art graphic. So if I choose this one here and give it a click, and you can see that it instantly changes to smart art. That would be what I suggest. However, if you are creating a set of masters for people to use who have yet to create their presentation, then what you can do is create a layout for smart art. What do I mean by that? Well, let's do that. Let's show you what I mean. So if we go to, let's just get rid of, let me just undo actually. So if we undo to go back to how that looks before, that's good. So if we go to view and then slide master, that's good. And then what I want to do is I want a smart art one. So I'm going to take this content one just here and duplicate it. So right click and go down to duplicate layout. And then just so I don't get confused, I'm going to rename this one. So the one I've just duplicated, the title and layout. Notice it's got a 1 at the beginning or 1 underscore. So let me right click on that one I've just copied and go to rename layouts. And I'm going to call this one title with smart art. I spelled that right. That's good. Click on rename. So what I'm going to do here is get rid of the content placeholder and then choose insert placeholder and go down to, and you can see I can choose smart art. So I'm just going to draw my graphic there of how big I want my smart art to be. Let's just make that a little wider. Give it plenty of space. That's good. Let me just move it down a little bit. There we go. Excellent. I've got to watch out for this to be talking, this one here, because the graphic of the logo is a little bigger. So I might need to swap that, but I'll leave it for the time being. So now I've done that, let me just close off my slide master view by clicking on the slide master tab at the top and clicking on close master view. So now what I'm going to do is apply that layout. So make sure we've got slide 7 selected here. Go to layout and you can see I've got title with smart art. So when I click on it, but you can see the issue here. You see, because I've removed the content, that I've got these 4 questions there is, they're just hanging around. So I've got now a conflict of interest. I've got the content placeholder and the smart art placeholder. When in fact the content placeholder has actually gone into just a normal text box. So if you've got this problem, you've got this issue, all you need to do is cut and paste the question. So if I highlight the questions, right click and cut, or Control X or Command X if you're on the Mac. Okay, let me just get rid of the box by clicking on the border of the box of the text. Make sure you get that right. Press delete to remove it. Now, if you've accidentally deleted the smart art graphic box, then you can undo and then make sure you delete the text box. There we go. Click once on the smart art. Choose a smart art option. So I think it's under list and it's this one just here. Okay, click on OK. And then if you need to click on this little arrow just here on the left, it might look like this. You might have to click on this little arrow here on the left hand side so you can see this outline view where it says type your text here. So I'm going to highlight all these bullets and then I'm going to Control V to paste. I've got an extra text at the bottom here, so I'm just going to press delete on the keyboard to remove that. And now I can see I've got these ones here, which is good. I'm just going to have a muck around with this. I can never remember which one that I need to change this to. So let me just have a quick practice. So if I go to the drop down list for the smart art layouts, go to more layouts, and then unfortunately you can't actually search for them, which is there, but I know it's a list. So if I hover over basic ones, hierarchy, table lists, architectural layouts, it's this top one here, more easy, basic block list. Click on OK. That's better. Great. So what I can do with this one is I can still adjust this afterwards if I need to and change it if I need to just here. And put that more in the center. There we go. Excellent. Now, again, if I want to update this so the colors match, all I need to do is click on a block, hold down the Shift key, click on the other block here. So what I've done is selected speaking tone, hold down the Shift key and clicked on questions. And I want those two to be the green. Then we're going to go to format at the top, the format tab. And then we're going to go and click on the shape fill drop down menu. And you see it's remembered our recent colors here. So I'm going to click on the green. I'm going to make sure there's no outline by clicking on shape outline and going to no outline. Let me do the same with illustrations. So I'm going to click on illustrations and hold the Shift key down and click on naturalness. I'm then going to go up to shape fill and choose the orange under recent colors. There we go. Now the last thing we want to do is add animation to this smart art. So what I'm going to do is click on this smart art graphic here. Okay, click on animations here at the top. Choose a fade animation. And now I want to have these come in one at a time. So what I'm going to do is click on effect options on the right hand side and choose one by one. Now, if you are using an older version of Excel and you do not see that effect options drop down list, you can click on the animation pane on the right hand side, click on this drop down menu on the very right, go down and click on effect options. And then in this effect options box, you can have, you'll see there's a smart art animation tab. Click on it. And then in the drop down list next to group graphic, it currently says as one object. Click on it and choose one by one. Then click on OK. So now you can see that the boxes are coming in one by one. Let's give this one a test by holding down the Shift key and pressing F5. So it tests our presentation from this current slide. I can then click and click and click and click. There we have it. Let's press Escape to come out of it. And our presentation is almost complete. We just need to update the title slide. So at the moment, the title slide looks pretty boring, and this should be a very important slide, and we can use it not just for the beginning of a presentation, but maybe for separating large sections of our presentation. I hope your PowerPoint presentation isn't too long, like 300, 400 slides. It's probably not the greatest, but if you must have a presentation that long, you surely want to split it up into different sections by using the title slide. So what I'm going to do here is let's go and view our master slide. So click on View, Slide Master, and let's see if we can adjust this a bit. So I'm going to get rid of this click to edit master subtitle style. So if I click on the border and then press the delete key on the keyboard, I want to get rid of these three here at the bottom. So I'm going to highlight all of these and press delete. I want to make this a little wider, so let's just click on that and just adjust that, make that wide here, and then move that across here. That's good, and I'll just bring that up a little tiny bit here, like so. It's probably a bit much. There we go. That's it. There we go. That's good. Excellent. And what I want to do is put a picture placeholder in, but I want to put it in as a background so people can then change or opt to change the background of the title slide. So let's do that. So I'm going to go to the Insert Placeholder drop-down list, just to remind you where it is. It's just at the top on the Slide Master tab. So Insert Placeholder and choose Picture. And then this placeholder is going to go across the whole slide. So if you just select the whole slide, if it doesn't work the first time, of course, you can use these resize handles to adjust and make sure it fits just so. Now what I need to do is send this to the back, because at the moment the picture is in front of the text. I know you can't see it, but it's in front of the text. So we need to send it behind the text. So what we're going to do is making sure that we've got shape format selected at the top. We're going to click on this send backward drop-down menu. So click on the send backward drop-down menu and choose send to back, and that will send the picture to the back. So before we decide to muck around with this a little bit, let's actually add some content back in our presentation. So if I go and close my slideshow view by clicking on Slide Master and click Close Master View. Now at the moment, it doesn't seem to have updated the layout. So what you might need to do is click on Layout and choose Title Slide again, and you can see it's updated that. So that's looking quite good. Let me add in a picture. So let's click on the Add Picture button icon in the middle and choose two people presenting from the pictures that I've supplied. Double click on that. And that's, yeah, starting to look good. But as you can see, sometimes the text is difficult to read. Over here, the skills, it's on this dark background, and it's not looking fantastic. I might need to make the text a little bit smaller as well. And so what I want to ensure is that this text is going to look good on any background, if somebody puts any picture. So I'm going to add it in as a semi-transparent background. So I'll show you what I mean by that. Let's go back to our master slides. Of course, we do everything on our masters. So let's go to View and Slide Master. So then if we click on our text box just here, then making sure I've got the Shape Format tab selected at the top, just on the right, and then the Shape Fill drop-down menu, I'm going to choose More Fill Colors. So Shape Fill, More Fill Colors. So in this More Fill Colors here, I can use either standard or custom. It doesn't matter which one we're going to you choose, because we're going to choose black. So make sure we've got black selected. And then in this transparency percentage box here, we're going to type in 60 to make this 60% transparent. Then click on OK. And there we have our transparent box just there, which is good. Now the text doesn't look good. It looks a little big. So I'm just going to highlight the text like so. And I'm going to first change the color of the text. So I'm going to go to the Home tab, click on the text drop-down menu and choose white. And I'm going to reduce the text size. And I'm not really sure what size it should be. So I'm going to use this little A here with the down arrow. That's the decrease font size button. So if I decrease so it's all on one line, that's good. And now the text is at the bottom of the text box and I want it to align middle. So if I go over to the Align Text drop-down menu just here. So if you click on Align Text and choose Middle, and you can see the text is aligned in the middle. So let's go back to our presentation and see what effects us changing this layout has had what effect on our presentation. So let's go to click Slide Master, close Master View, and there we go. That looks so much better. So then when we start our presentation, we do that by pressing F5 on the keyboard. Yeah, you can then click through and the presentation is looking really, really good. So just one last thing, maybe have a think about it. We want that picture to slide in. Yeah. So this picture on the right hand side here just automatically appears, which is good. Okay, like so. But say for instance, we want that picture to automatically slide in, automatic on every slide. How do we do that? You guessed it. It's using the master slide. So let's do that, shall we? So we're going to go to View Master Slides, View, Slide Master. We can click on the border for the picture. And then we can choose our animations here at the top. Now remember, because in fact, if I just hover over this here, you can see title content with picture layout is used by slides 2 to 6. So we don't have to change them individually. I mean, at the moment, that's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's only 5 slides. Imagine you had 100 slides, you know. Anyway, so let's click on the border of the picture. Let's choose an animation. So I'm going to choose float in, and then I'm going to choose a little directions. Which one shall I do? I'll tell you what, let's do fly in. Yeah, it's good. And then I'll fly in from the right hand side. Yeah, and it comes through into this. That's good. Okay, let's go and have a look and see how it affects our presentation. So click on Slide Master, close Master View, and then I'm going to start at the beginning, press F5, and as we go through, hints and tips, speaking tone, illustrations, naturalness, questions, flies in. Next one, relaxed, enthusiasm, modulation, warmth, conviction, flies in. You see the control that you've had. Now again, if you want to very quickly change the order of that so that the picture flies in and then the bullets come, then that will be through your animations. So again, you would go to Slide Master View, View, Slide Master. Okay. So in the animation pane on the right hand side, can you see this here on the right hand side? This is where all your animations are happening. Making sure you're on the right slide. Hopefully we haven't clicked off of it. You should be on the title content with picture layout slide. So you should be still on that. So what I can do here is I can adjust this by dragging it. So I'm going to drag this below. So firstly, it's the picture placeholder, and then it's going to be the content. Let's have a look and see how that works. So click on Close Master View. Press F5 on your keyboard to start the presentation. This presentation is how to improve your presentation skills. Click on the mouse. Presentation hints and tips. Click on the mouse again, and yes, you get the picture first, and then you click and each bullet point comes in. Go to your next slide. The speaking tone. Click, picture slides in, and you get your bullet points. So I think you will agree, master slides is something that's a real must. Well, I hope you got something out of that PowerPoint master slides tutorial. If you did, then please give me a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. If you haven't already done so, then please hit that, well, don't really hit, but click on that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so you don't miss future tutorials. If you've got any questions about master slides, then put them in the comments below and I'll do my best to get back to you. If you'd like to reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, please do so. It'd be great to hear from you. At Computer Tutoring, we offer many training courses, not only on PowerPoint, but across the entire Microsoft suite. We also do Adobe training as well. So I hope that everybody's keeping well, everyone's keeping safe. I just want to say thank you so much for watching.